Diane, and we're here today with Narendra, who is a spiritual master teacher and the founder of Spirituality for Results. Thank you for watching.
So it's reasonable to worry about things of future because we are living in a dynamic society. Things are moving, things are becoming more complex. But look at what's happening. It's our mind, when it's threatened by a situation, is thinking of all possibilities that things can go wrong. Now, it almost seems like a ghost in the future is trying to scare you. You know, it goes into the future, oh, I'm going to eat you up. And then you say, wow, what am I going to do if he eats me up? A different condition comes in, and then you're worried about something else. So, question is there anything wrong with your response? No. Your response is perfectly okay. Because you're a live human being, and if it's a threatening situation being expected in future or possibilities of, because God has given you a mind, it's reasonable to say that, oh, yeah, I'm worrying about future. So that's one part happens to it continuously. So most men in the society, the mind is in the future. Or anybody who's living a dynamic life is worried about future, mind is in the future. But your body is right here. You see? But if you go in the past, let's say you go in this direction, this is where the past is. And this is where your heart substance is. And we're not talking about organ, the heart, but the part of you that senses or feels things. So typically people are carrying truckloads of these things from the past. Imagine somebody dragging around like 15 or 20 garbage bags with them wherever they go. You know, people do it when they get married. They're empty cans. But 15, 20 years later, they're carrying huge garbage cans. Garbage bags full of all unresolved issues. Now, what am I talking about? The things that bother your heart, that cause your heart some pain. So, there are rocks in the past somebody threw at you. When you were just about to complete a project, somebody threw a rock at your project and really destroyed your project and you were upset about it. Or how about somebody stabbed you in the back? Somebody you thought they were your friend and they stabbed you in the back. It's still bothering you. What about somebody, pardon me, here's a matchbox. Somebody burned all your dreams. Okay, somebody diffused your battery. Because you were so enthusiastic about a project that this person kept on discouraging you, demeaning you, hurting you. I mean, think about it, there are people right around you. It can be within your family, in your friend circle, in your school system, anywhere in the environment. But most people, especially those who are feeling centered, are carrying boatload of unresolved issues from the past. Now look at the human condition. Your mind is worrying in the future. And your heart is in the back. And your body is right here. What do you think is happening? You're constantly subject to these two forces. It's like a tug of war going on. Day and night, tug of war is going on. And poor body is stuck in the middle. Do you think as a result of that you are likely to feel some stress? Are you joking? Stress? If you are sick, guess where it's coming from? If you are stressed, scattered, you can't think straight, if you're using medications to numb down your pain, or if you are becoming an alcoholic, or if you're starting to use drugs, what do you think you're trying to do? You're trying to numb that pain. So that's what is called non-meditation. You are practicing non-meditation. Congratulations. At least you are practicing non-meditation, which means you are split against your own self. The goal of meditation is to bring all of you together in the present moment, wherever you are. physically. This, you can bring your heart where you are and your mind where you are. When you are together and you are living harmoniously with the beautiful music going on inside of you, you are meditating. That's as simple as that. Now, let's go back to the original condition. How can we do this? And there are different people called by this thing by different names. There are books written about this subject. This is what you call obsessive thinking. This is what you call pain body, unresolved issue, past issues. So many different names. So many different names. So there's a way, if you're smart, go about doing life in a way that you can free yourself from both. And meditation will be like a song. How do you do that? Well, I might lose the job. Okay? Or my child might fail an exam. Or I might get sick. Those are reasonable concerns. The question is, if you keep thinking about it again and again and again and again and again and again, problem is still the same. It's like a child tugging at your shirt. I want a candy, I want a candy, I want a candy, I want a candy. If you say it 20 times in a minute for 8 hours a day, there's only one issue. He needs a candy. Does it make any difference if he tells you like 100 times a minute? But that's what our minds do. That's what anxiety is made of. So please, try to understand how your mind works. If you're one of those who says to yourself, I worry about future, you know what you're saying? That I don't have a sane way of resolving issues. Like my child keeps saying, I want candy and I want candy for the last 15 years. I just don't know how to get him a candy. It's so simple as that. So may I make a suggestion to you? Stop trying to solve the problems in the head. Mistake number one. Because if you try to do that, it's going to destroy you. Get yourself a piece of paper. A diary or a yellow sticker. Use a PDA. Use a computer. If something bothers you, draw one line. And be very specific about what is the issue. Well, I might get sick. I'm afraid about that. Okay? If you're afraid of that, what can you do right now? These are possible solutions. What would a reasonable, sane-minded citizen do if he or she was in your place? Well, get yourself an insurance. Wow, what a bright idea. Get yourself an insurance. Or maybe live in a healthy way. Maybe if a certain part of your body hurts, then do some research on it. Go to the root cause and fix yourself. Do exercise, foods, whatever. Those are all right things to do. But do it on paper. Not inside this. Because if you're doing it inside your mind, then after 21 days you're putting a program in your subconscious mind, which will only automatically create more reasons for you to worry. For no reason at all. Because it's programmed to repeat itself. So, write down on a paper, put it someplace and forget about it. And when your thought comes again, I'm worried about future, about my health, I have already got it. But don't lose it. Go back and work on it, just the way you do your office work. Put it in the same diary. Okay, I'm supposed to get a health insurance. I'm supposed to talk to somebody for better health. I'm supposed to find out how to eat right. Take the right action. It's the right action because child is worried that somebody is going to bother him at the school. But if the mother or father can say to them, don't worry, I got it under control. I'll go beat him up. I'm not saying go for violence, but if you just tell him, don't worry, I got it, I think child can relax now. Maybe the father, he knows that my father will talk to the principal or to the child or his parents. He will sit down and relax. People worry because They are not developing possible solutions that is giving them a positive hope. As simple as that. That's the best way to free yourself from the worry and anxiety. So use this paperwork. Because if you're worried about anything, turn that into current day activity. Okay, you're telling me about what if I get laid off? Okay, what if I get laid off? What are you going to do? Well, I can live with my mother, or I can borrow money from my father. There is always a solution you can develop, or you can collect it from the government. So this way, what you can do is you can bring your mind away from future. Don't allow your mind to continuously worry about the same thing. You should not worry about one problem, not more than one thought should come, maybe two thoughts. Then catch it. And when I try to tell you, say no, I already got it. Now let's go into the past. Same way you can bring yourself, your heart back from the past. Well, my sister Cindy threw a big rock at me when I was a teenager, and she created a lot of problems for me, and I'm still angry at her. I have not forgiven her. Well, what can you do? Right now, there is a possibility you can do it. Forgive her, or make a phone call, or talk to somebody. Same way, use the same paperwork. Guess what? If you forgive the person, you take the corrective action, you're done. You move on. Even if the person who has bothered you, if the person died, you can still pray to God and forgive him. As far as you're concerned, you are free. Because the other person could only do what he or she knew. Now, if the person is living, you can send her a note or email, talk to a relative. There are so many solutions. But develop solutions. So anything that is worrying you, please make this pile smaller and smaller. Quit dragging these file cabinets and garbage bags of past, which unresolved issues. I'm saying that forgive them, but also protect yourself. Now guess what? All this stuff is gone. Everything has a possible solution. Spiritual law is, does not matter what happened. You can forgive them, ask for forgiveness, or take a corrective action. But don't overwhelm yourself. Don't make a list of like 500 things. Make 2 or 3 things at a time. And simple description. You're not going to tell a long story here. You're not writing a book. Get to the point, write what's bothering you, and think about what the possible solution is. And if it's not coming to your mind what the possible solution is, discuss it with some friends. Then your heart is together. Guess what? You're meditating now. This is the goal of meditation. Other things are all techniques. You can follow any techniques. Concentrate here, concentrate here, concentrate here. If your heart is free of any old unresolved issues, it's here to enjoy and be with you. And there's no reason for mind to run all over the place. Because mind creates thoughts, thousands of thoughts for every problem that bothers you. And all your mind is trying to do is trying to help you out. And once you can say, I got to that place that I'm not worried about future, if something's going to happen, I know exactly what I have to do. You have learned to discipline your mind. And if you don't get into business of garbage collection, people will offend you. But protect yourself and find solutions. So that is the idea behind meditation. Now, let's take 1 or 2 examples. Suppose you have a lot of thoughts running through your head. Do you know what to do now? Very simple. Find out the cause of problems. Resolve them, thoughts will disappear. Other thing you can do is find a way or find a hobby that you like. For example, you like gardening, you like music, you like dance. So what do? Use the medium of dance to get you into deeper meditation. Your heart is already there, so take the meditation, use the music. So guess what? Because your heart is in there, your body and heart is already aligned. The only thing remaining is mind. So you make a deal with your mind. For half an hour in the morning, please don't be running around and bothering me with some irrelevant thoughts. While I'm enjoying this music, join the party. You can bring any thoughts you want, but they'll have to wait outside in a line in the guest room. Guess what? You're meditating. So simple. Use your hobby. Use some methodology that can help you. Now, when you take it to the next level, what are you doing? You are taking and integrating meditation in different parts of your life. You can have car driving meditation. You could have walking meditation. You could have dishwashing meditation. As long as these three elements are present. And if you now include another aspect of you, whoever you believe in, Jesus or Krishna or Buddha or Muhammad, it does not matter. Include them in part of your meditation. Now it takes a divine form. Guess what? Now you're ready for having some supernatural experiences. It's very simple. It can be done. Can be done. Then I would like to add one more thing. In meditation, use the spiritual techniques for uniting yourself from inside and outside and bringing that bliss and joy and happiness that we all seek. This is how you do it. And I know you can do it. Now, the next stage after meditation is called Samadhi, or what you call the divine union that we talk about. Meditation is the ladder using which you reach that state, highest state of union with divine, when you experience the supernatural bliss and you get all your divine gifts. That's when you realize God is real. So meditation is the means to get there. Quickly, I want to talk about three types of Samadhi. The lowest is what you call the Jara Samadhi, which is like the crudest form of Samadhi. You know when people take drugs, they smoke the weed, or you take psychedelic drugs and have all those experiences? They may say, I had wonderful experiences, and I'll give it to them. But the problem with that is, in the long term, they are becoming dependent on the drug. And the drug has a whole lot of negative side effects. If you look at some of the latest brain scans of people who use drugs, the inside of the brain looks like it's being eaten by moths. It's very similar to the patients who have Alzheimer's disease. So I would recommend that please don't go there with that. Because if you're going to experience a high, you're going to experience a whole lot of low, and then you're destroying your life. And next thing that happens to you, you're losing your money, you're losing your family, and you're creating dependence. Goal was freedom, not slavery. So don't go there. Second stage of Samadhi is what you call the Sarvikalpa Samadhi, which is what you call the conditional state of union. Well, when I'm meditating, or when I'm doing my beads, or when I'm doing my special practices, whatever practices you follow in your persuasion, only when I have those practices, then I have those experiences. That's what you call Sarvikalpa Samadhi. It's what you call conditional state of union. Which means only when you use that technique, then you experience it. But otherwise, as soon as you open your eyes, walk into the world, you lose it. Now that's interesting, isn't it? It's like saying, my car isn't very much in tune. Everything runs fine. But as soon as I drive it on the road, when it looks at the other cars, it falls apart. The wheels fall apart, the hood flies over my roof, the glass is broken, the headlights just pop. That's what you do to yourself. Doesn't make sense, but that's a good place to start though. The highest form of Samadhi is considered, the union with divine is considered totally unconditional. That the states of bliss and heightened awareness and heightened consciousness that you experience with your eyes closed, now you can experience them while you walk around in life, doing things and nobody can take it away. That is what we should all seek. That is the goal. Now you are becoming God-centered, and that's what is the way to enlightenment and God realization. Thank you very much. I'm sure you're going to use it and change this world.